Hey folks, Mr. Dell here. We are looking at a problem that is solving for y in terms of x. So I'm taking this from CPM course 3, 9.1.2. And it is, let's see, so I'm just going to go for it. So I'll rewrite the question so you can kind of see it. So the first one, I've got 6x plus 5y is equal to 20. So I need to get y alone. That's what it wants, right? So it says rewrite each equation so that it starts with y equals. So it's using our skills of solving equations, but isolating the y, getting the y alone. So the first thing is I need to eliminate whatever is not y, right? For right now, I look and I want to eliminate the term, the 6x term, so that way I get it on the other side and I don't have I can get that y term alone. So I'm going to subtract 6x from both sides. That's my first step. So the 6x, why did I subtract? Because it's a positive 6x, and you do the opposite to get rid of it, right? So in positive 6x and negative 6x, that opposite causes it to go away, cancel out. And now I have to, over here, see if I can combine like terms or just write them separately. I can't combine like terms. And I tend to always write my x term first, negative 6x, and then plus 20. You could say 20 minus 6x, but why do I do that? Because I know where I'm headed. I'm headed to this y equals mx plus b, the form of a linear equation where we know our slope, we know our y-intercept. So this is that normal form that we like to see when we solve for y. So that's why I put the x term first. So now I have 5y equals negative 6x plus 20. At that point, I'm almost there. I just got to get the y one more step, get y alone. Well, what is happening between the 5 and the y is multiplication, right? It's 5 times y. So the opposite or the inverse operation of multiplication is division. So I divide by 5. This is where it gets a little tricky. You've got to divide each term by 5. So I divide that term by 5 and that term by 5, right? So whatever I divide by 5, I all divide by 5. And then when I rewrite this, now each term I look at separately. This is negative 6x all divided by 5. Well, you got to just look at the numbers. 6 and 5 don't divide evenly, so I'm just going to leave it. It's really negative 6 fifths, and then the x just goes on the outside. So I take the coefficient, becomes this fraction, negative 6 fifths, and then x just sits on the outside. So that's my first term. Plus 20, so plus 20 divided by 5. Well, 20 does divide by 5. It goes in there 4 times. So there's my first answer for solving for y with that equation. Okay, so b looks like this. Let me rewrite b and we'll do b. So 4x minus 8y equals 16. So once again, my goal is to get y alone. Sometimes too, you got to realize that sometimes you'll have y terms on both sides of the equations, and that means you just need to get rid of it from one and combine it to the other. In this case, we're safe. We don't have y on both sides, so I just know I just got to get rid of everything on this side except for the y. So first thing is get rid of the x term, which is 4x, and opposite of 4x is negative 4x, right? Doing that positive negative causes it to cancel out. And what I do to one side, I make sure I do to the other side. And now I've got, what do I have left? This is where a major mistake comes into play most of the time, is a lot of students will forget that minus in front of the 8 now makes that a negative 8y. So you got to bring along, look at the sign in front, look at the operation. That minus makes that a negative 8y. And then we end up with, again, I like to put my x term first, so negative 4x, and then there's a positive 16. And then I'm looking at this saying it's negative 8 times y, right? So the opposite of multiplication is division. To get rid of that 8, I have to divide. And what I divide on this side, I divide each term separately. All right, this is where it gets a little tricky. So negative 4x divided by negative 8. So I just look at the numbers, the coefficients. First of all, negative divided by a negative makes it a positive. So I know it's going to be a positive. And then I look at 4 over 8. I mean, I could leave my answer 4 over 8x and move on from there. But I know that 4 over 8 actually simplifies. So I'm going to take it another step. 4 over 8 is actually 1/2. If you can simplify your fraction, make sure you simplify your fraction. Over here, a positive 6, so it's plus 6 divided by negative 8. Well, you have a positive divided by a negative, so that makes the whole thing a negative, right? So you could say plus negative, or we can just call that minus, right? Plus negative makes it a minus. And I don't want to leave it 6 over 8 either, because 6 over 8 can actually also be simplified. So 6 over 8 can be reduced. Or simplify it. I can simplify top and bottom by 2, and that makes that a 3/4. So my simplified best equation for y is y equals 1/2 x minus 3/4. And there we go.